Jay Slater's mother is demanding answers after law enforcement seem to have missed her 19-year-old son's body for weeks in the area. Experts, citizen sleuths, and law enforcement were searching. So Jay's body was found just yards away from where his phone last pinged and where searches concentrated all their resources for weeks. So it doesn't quite add up. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a video.
This is the ravine on Tenerife where Jay Slater's body was found. An initial post-mortem suggests the injuries that Jay had sustained suggested he had fallen from a cliff, and now a court in the Canary Islands have said that Jay's death was caused by trauma consistent with a fall in a rocky area. Jay Slater's mum has come out to say that her family's hearts are broken and that she just wants to see her son one last time.
And yeah, users are just scratching their heads, wondering why would anyone even attempt to go through a mountain? Another writes, fingerprints after 29 days, what? And yeah, Jay Slater's own mother, as well as users across the internet, are thinking something is just not adding up. So a study from 2016 showed that corpses can only get fingerprints for up to 4 days after in warm weather. So how are they able to get these fingerprints 4 weeks after Jay Slater disappeared? Dozens of balloons have been released in Jay Slater's hometown as those who knew him held an emotional vigil in memory of the teenager. LBT Global, which has been helping the family of Jay Slater, says it is looking at bringing Jay Slater's body back to Lancashire after they ruled there was no foul play. But Jay's heartbroken mother, Debbie Duncan, is demanding answers. A family source told The Sun, quote, the hardest thing for her is to hear he was found so close to the original search site. It's hard to take. It means it's entirely possible they have walked past his body while searching for him. The Dailymail are continuing their theories that there's more to the story by also asking the same question as Jay Slater's own mother. So Fred Kelly writes, quote, during the time I spent on Tenerife reporting on the story for the Mail, I visited this exact location on no fewer than 4 occasions. Every time I visited, the area was crawling with local hikers and tourists, amateur sleuths, and international journalists. It was a hive of activity. I even joined the scores of people who walked directly through the cacti-ridden thicket where the body has now been found. I saw nothing. In fact, over almost a month, the thousands who visited this spot noticed nothing untoward. Indeed, the official police search and rescue mission, which lasted 2 weeks and was completed on June 30th, focused on the area where the body is said to have been found. They even had expert sniffer dogs flown in from Spain, the best of the best in this terrain, we were all told. So just how could the body of a young man suddenly be found in the area that had been meticulously searched for weeks? Indeed, some of those searching the ravine speculated that if a body were there, it would attract local birds of prey, giving away its position. End quote. And it's alarming when you look at the path Jay took. It seemed like he went in a completely opposite direction from his hotel in Los Cristianos. But not only that, how do you explain Jay veering off the road? I mean, it's a highway and going towards the shoreline like he did. So the yellow marks here are the path he took, and the white mark is the well-marked highway. Why did he go off of it towards this rocky area that seems so incredibly dangerous? So all mainstream media is running with this same explanation. So a search coordinator told Sky News it was likely Jay was walking down the valley in a shortcut to get to the sea. Quote, I think this was a shorter way to go back to get to the beach, but the beach is his house. Holiday accommodation, so probably he wanted to do that, end quote. So I guess what they're saying here was that he was heading towards the beach because his hotel he shared with Lucy was also on the beach far down south, and maybe he thought he could just follow the sea to his accommodation. But why would he do that if there was a road right there? I mean, so many questions. Why would he even go to this Airbnb up north in the first place? So not everybody is so sure about this theory.
Why is this all being sort of normalized? by the mainstream media. This was kind of, it was quite normal for him to take the completely wrong direction. Very normal for him to not wait for the bus. Very normal for him to turn down a lift. Very normal for him to walk uphill in the wrong direction. Very normal for him to take the off-road course, which ended up taking his life. It was completely out of the ordinary. The fact that he came out of that Airbnb, the fact that it was reported by all accounts to an ex-police officer, Mark-William Thomas, that he was afraid for his safety. He didn't want to take a lift. He wanted to go as soon as possible. And now this is being normalized. Oh, he's heading for the sea. He's heading for the sea for what? What, does he plan to walk across the coastline or swim across? I don't know what people are expecting here. He was going in the wrong direction. We can't ignore that there was something that caused him to go in the completely opposite direction. And it's not like he didn't know where he was, because when he spoke to his friend Brad on the phone, they pulled up the maps. They knew how far away he was, but he didn't turn back, did he? And that's the question here. Why didn't he just turn back? Why didn't he just go back onto the road and go back past the Airbnb? Because he didn't want to.
So if Jay wanted to walk, he could have just easily taken the highway back to his hotel. But to me, it sounds like Jay was possibly paranoid or hiding from someone or something, like he didn't want to be found or seen, especially when you take into account the private investigator's Mark-William Thomas's statements that Jay was scared when he left the B&B, that Jay had allegedly stolen a Rolex watch, which still hasn't been recovered, and the Spanish police are tight-lipped on whether that was retrieved with his body. Also, the private investigator, Mark-William Thomas, spoke about the criminal underworld that might have been involved in his disappearance. And I want to say that Mark-William Thomas plans on clearing up some of the conspiracies and inaccuracies, but he does stand beside what he said. And some Facebook conspiracies even go as far as to suggest that Jay may have been placed there. So this user writes, personally, I think his body was put there because it became too public, so the plan didn't go to plan. Either that, or remember that video where somebody jumped out from the roadside and got into a car in Masca? I think this was the day he went missing. Was the one of the two guys from the Airbnb who had chased Jay and Jay fell to his death? There's too many possibilities, but I absolutely do not believe that he has been there that whole time. Yeah, and many TikTok users are pointing out that Jay's body was found the day after the major football match between Spain and England, which would give a third party the perfect opportunity to sneak in there and put his body in that ravine. So a lot of people were in shock to see this video of the Airbnb host Ayub Kasim celebrating right before Jay was found. This video is to the song You Can't Touch Me Cause I'm Electric. And a lot of cyber sleuths weeks ago were originally taken back by the photo he took of his friends having a good time in the area Jay's phone last pinged. And the one good thing about all these sleuths coming together is that they are drawing attention to missing person cases. And if they get half the attention Jay's case had, maybe they could be solved as well. So it says here, another young Brit has gone missing on a Spanish island just days after the body of Jay Slater was discovered in Tenerife, sparking a desperate search. So his name is Ben Ross. He is 26 and he hasn't been sighted since July 10th after vanishing in Palma, the capital of holiday hotspot Majorca. So what do you guys think? I learned a lot from you guys. Sound off in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe by hitting my face right above Miss Gabby.